People, good afternoon. I hope you're all doing well on this Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, better yet. Currently, I'm watching Roma versus Atlanta. Atlanta are losing 3-1. Bayern Munich's actually on simultaneously as well. Those of you that watch the Italian League or have been watching it either more religiously than I have or just been keeping an eye out, you know there's a number of young players popping up about. And Mancini of Atlanta is a centre-half. I think he's a very good player and he's got potential to be an even better player. And I think Arsenal got to go for this, man. Firstly, what attracts me to it, I know we can't go for him in January because allegedly we haven't got money and things like that. He's valued at 20 million. What young centre-halves really and truly, in a day and age where it's all paying for potential now, it's not paying for the finished article, is going for 20 million. It's all 50s and stuff like that. So that's the first attractive thing. We probably cannot get him because there's a bag of teams linked with him. But although Roma allegedly are close to sealing his signature, so if Roma can get involved, Monchi, leave this alone and pick it up when you come to Arsenal in the summer, hopefully. It's an avenue we've got to go down, man. I like what I see. Ironically, he's not having the best of games against Roma currently. As you can imagine, they're losing 3-1, and their goal or the fourth goal was a consolation finish. So it was a consolation at the time. Well, I think it was. Yeah, it was. There's been quite a few goals, but yeah, Roma have been all over them, and he's actually getting ran rings over. And you can see immediately how he's not the finished article. First and foremost, if you just watch the game, inability to track you can track his runners, but people are making wonderful moves off him. He's playing in a back three. It's not just him, it's a few of them. So yeah, he's having issues with that. So he's still young. He's still got to improve in terms of being cerebral. But what I like about him, first and foremost, he's a real Italian defender. When he puts his foot in, he means it. He can be classed as aggressive, but he knows when to be, and he's still defining himself as a centre-half or what sort of personality that he'd like. But I like him. He's obviously got 5 goals, so he's got instinctive finishes or a threat in the air from set pieces. I really like him, man. I think he's composed. I think he puts his body on the line. I think he's got what would immediately attract Una Emre and the modern day football fan is that he can play out from the back. He's very good with his long and short range passing. Not the best, but he's not a coward in that department. He's very skilled at bringing the ball into midfield as well, so he doesn't struggle with many things in that department. The only issues I said is just being a bit more calculated off the ball, but it's not even his fault. It's really and truly it's the team against Roma. Roma are just making lovely runs. All of their players are making lovely runs off several members of the team, so it might not just be him. And yeah, man, just being his positioning could improve, of course. I think his main issues for me, from what I've seen of him, is he gets caught flat-footed a lot. I don't think he's the quickest, but I don't think he's slow by any stretch of the imagination. But he gets caught flat-footed. So obviously, if you're caught flat-footed and whatnot, you're having to try harder to react. So just in terms of his anticipation, that could improve, I guess. But he's got the raw things you look for, man. And if we could sign him, give him scope to develop, obviously he'd fit in with. In fact, I don't even say the current model because I don't know what Arsenal Football Club's model is. We're being linked with 29-year-olds, and we've got rid of Mislintat. But he's 22, Guendouzi 19, Torreira 22 as well, Maitland-Niles, Iwobi, all of these, Saka, all of these, Nelson, all of these homegrown players are in and amongst that age as well. So it would be a good little crop of young players that we could keep and develop, because we know we're not going for players in their prime age for prime prices, because we can't allegedly. He's a player I like, man. And he's playing on the left-hand side as well of the centre-half back three. So if he can play on the left, whether that's in a 2 or a 4... sorry, what I meant by that is in a three-man defence or a 4 at the back, 2 centre-halves. If he can play in that, that's immediate attraction to Arsenal's vacant centre-half position as well, because immediately if he was to join in January, who struggles really and truly to play on the left-hand side the most? Socrates. Apart from Holding, none of our centre-halves really look comfortable on the left-hand channel or the left-hand side of the centre-half pairing. Yes, I know Koscielny does as well, but if we're being honest, this should be his last year, so we can't really incorporate him into the long-term thinking. So you're looking at least for the next 2 seasons, at least you're looking at Socrates, God willing, Mancini was to come into the club, Holding, probably Mustafi unless he gets moved on. Holding's comfortable on the left-hand side, but so is he as well. And with Holding as well, give us a young centre-half sort of pairing. I would love Diallo of Dortmund. I don't think he's the finished article, and he struggles a lot as well. But yeah, man, what centre-half are we really going to sign for prices? To sign the finished article, we need to sign them. We need to pay the marquee money, and I don't think we do it. But either way, people, he's a good player, man. We probably won't get him. He's a good player with the scope to develop, and yeah, man, there's something in the water with Italy. I know France get a lot of hype, and rightly so, because of their players. But you look all over at it in Italy, man. You've got this guy, you've got Riccardi, you've got Zinolio, you've got Tonali. If I haven't said him already, you've got Pellegrini, who's just a bit older than them as well. Several dotted about. You've got Colbo, I think, of Bologna. If he's still there, if he doesn't get moved on, he's probably he's another centre half, ironically, and there's a while before he comes about. But you get the point. There's something in the water in Italy, and there's a good crop of young players coming through. And considering they didn't reach the last World Cup and things like that, and you'd imagine they want to do well in the Euros upcoming, that's something that they can kind of mould and craft their players around. And on the topic of Italy, I believe he's been capped 3 times by his nation as well. So he's obviously been recognised for an impressive season. In Italy as well, to be honest with you. So yeah, he's doing his thing, and hopefully Arsenal have him in their thoughts, and we could possibly make a bid. But for now, people deluded. I'm out. Thank you for watching.